Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. I am Dua, consultant clinical psychologist and a couple therapist. So today we are talking about how to fix your relationships. Okay, so let's begin with something honest. Most struggling relationships are not failing because of lack of love. They are failing because of repeated unconscious patterns of reacting, patterns of misunderstanding, patterns of protecting oneself instead of connecting. Okay. And over time, these patterns create distance. So if your relationship feels strained, tense, disconnected, or exhausting, it doesn't mean it's over. Okay. It means something needs to be reset. Today, I'm going to guide you through a structured and evidence informed process I call the 5-step reset for struggling relationships. Okay, this is not surface level advice. This is grounded in modern psychology, drawing from attachment theory, emotion focused theory, in cognitive behavior approaches, in communication science. Okay, take this as a guided session. Okay, a pause when needed and reflect, even revisit. Okay, so let's begin. Step number one is interrupt the negative cycle. Every struggling couple has a cycle. Okay, not just arguments but a predictable emotional loop. For example, one partner criticizes, the other withdraws. The first escalates, the second shuts down further. Or one seeks reassurance, the other feels pressure, pulls away, the first becomes anxious, and this is what we call a negative interaction cycle. And here's the key insight. The problem is not with your partner, the problem is the cycle you both are trapped in. Okay? But most couples don't see the cycle. They see they are too sensitive, that you don't care, you always do this. Okay, so step one is awareness. Okay, and start noticing what triggers conflict. How do you react? How does your partner respond, and what happens next? Instead of asking who is wrong, ask what pattern we are repeating. Modern therapy, especially emotional focused therapy, shows that one couple identifies the cycle and it becomes easier to step out of it. Okay, because now you are not fighting each other, you are recognizing something external that's pulling both of you in. Okay, so here's this exercise. The next time tension rises, pause and mentally label the cycle. For example, this is our pursue withdraw pattern happening again. And this simple act reduces emotional intensity and increases control. Okay. Step number two is regulate before communicate. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to solve problems while emotionally flooded. So when your nervous system is activated, heart rate up, muscles tense, and thoughts racing, you are not in a state to communicate clearly, and you are in a threat response mode. In that mode, you misinterpret tone, you assume negative intent, and you react instead of respond. So before communication comes regulation, and this is backed by neuroscience. When the amygdala is activated, the prefrontal cortex responsible for reasoning goes offline. So step two is learning to pause. Not as avoidance, but as preparation. Techniques that you guys can use is slow breathing. Inhale for 4 and exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. Grounding. Notice 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel, and 3 things that you can hear. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have noticed the 5 things that you can see. Now 4 things that you feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 3 things that you can hear. 1, 2, 3. And taking a 3 minutes break, research showed that it helps emotional reset. Okay. Then take a pause and say, I want to continue this, but I need a few minutes to calm down so I can show up better. Okay. This builds trust instead of abandonment, and regulation is not weakness, it's emotional maturity. Okay. Then step number 3, it is shift from blame to emotion truth. Most arguments are not about what they appear to be. They're not about dishes, they're not about texting back, not about tone. They're about unmet emotional needs. Okay, or instead of expressing vulnerability, most people express criticism. For example, you have never listened to me often means I don't feel heard or valued, so you don't care about us. Often means I'm afraid and I'm losing you. Okay, this step requires courage. You move from accusation to honesty, from you always ignore me to when I feel ignored, I start to feel unimportant, and that scares me. This is rooted in attachment theory. When you express the deeper emotion, your partner is far more likely to respond with empathy instead of defensiveness. Because now you're not attacking, you are revealing. Okay? What happened, how it made you feel, and what it means to you emotionally. When we stopped talking, like now, for example, you can say like when we stopped talking, like last night, I felt disconnected, and part of me worried that we are drifting apart. This is how real connection begins. But again, I would say that you both people should be at same level somehow. If the other person is narcissist, okay, so he won't listen to you. There are some other ways to handle them. Okay, so if you guys are experiencing such people, or you guys have such people in your life, your partner, you guys can connect with me. You can take therapy, and I'll explain you how to handle them. Okay, so don't worry, I'm here for you. Okay, now step number 4, learn secure communication patterns. Healthy communication is not instinctive. Okay, it is learned. And most people were never taught how to communicate in relationships. So we default to defensiveness, criticism, stonewalling, and contempt. These are what psychologist John Gottman called the 4 horsemen, and they predict relationship breakdown. So what replaces them? Number 1, replace criticism with specific requests. Instead of you never help, say, can you help me with this tonight? It will mean me a lot. Number 2, replace defensiveness with responsibility. Instead of, that's not my fault, say, I see how that affected you. I could have handled that better. Number 3, replace stonewalling with attached engagement. So instead of shutting down, say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I want to stay connected. Number 4, replace contempt with respect. Even in conflict, maintain dignity. Tone matters more than words. Okay, so also practice active listening. Reflect with what you hear and validate emotions. Not necessarily agree, but acknowledge. For example, I can see why that upset you, and this reduces emotional intensity immediately. And communication is not about winning; it's about understanding. Now, step number 5: rebuild emotional safety in connection. Without emotional safety, no technique will work. Safety means I can express myself without fear. I will not be attacked or dismissed. And my emotions matter. And safety is built through consistent small actions, not grand gestures. So, And ways to rebuild connection. Number one is daily check-ins, just 10 minutes. How are you feeling today? Okay. Number two is appreciation practice. Say one thing that you value about your partner daily. Okay. Number three is repair attempts. After conflict, reconnect. I don't like how we left that, and can we try again? Number four is physical connection. Simple touch, holding hands, hug regulates the nervous system. Okay. Number five is shared experiences. Do something together without pressure. Connection grows through presence, not perfection. Okay. Then integration. On the reset mindset, let's bring this together. A relationship reset is not one time fix. It's a shift in how you show up. You move from reacting to responding, blaming to understanding, and defending to connecting. And most importantly, you stop seeing each other as enemy and start seeing the patterns as a problem. So if your relationship is struggling, it doesn't mean you have failed. It means you have reached a point where old patterns no longer work. And at the end, that's opportunity. Because with awareness, regulation, emotional honesty, better communication, and safety, relationships don't just survive, they transform. And take this step by step. You don't need perfection, you need intention. And if both partners are willing, even imperfectly, change is absolutely possible. And you're not alone in this, and most importantly, you are not stuck. Okay, I'm always available for you. You guys can reach out to me. I have mentioned my email address, and we can have therapeutic sessions. I'm always available for you. Okay, if you guys like the video, please do like it, do comment me below, and do share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, please just go and subscribe my channel. Okay, see you soon in the next video. I'm always with you. Don't feel alone. See you soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye, everyone.